So you got this murder. There's a stabbing on November 21st, 2020. November 21st, 2020. So this is, roughly 2 years ago. Howery, 29 years old, was stabbed to death outside of a Speedway gas station in Chama, New Mexico. In Chama, as he had waited for his wife to finish her shift. His mother, Jennifer Myrick, shared, "My daughter-in-law in the store thought she heard his voice, so she ran outside, called his name. Howery. He and Jonathan stood up. Jonathan still had the knife up. She hollered to the officer in the store for help. He's killing my husband." Before the murder, a Rio Arriba sheriff's deputy found the suspect, Jonathan Barlow, on the side of the road. He took a Bowie knife, just a long knife, 6 inches or so, away from him, dropped Barlow off at the Speedway gas station, and then when he did, he gave Barlow the knife back. The knife was the same weapon Barlow is accused of using to kill Howery. Myrick saw the surveillance video of her son being killed. This is so fucked up. Now, Howery's family is filing a wrongful death suit against Jonathan Barlow, the Rio Arriba Sheriff's Office, and the deputy involved. The lawsuit is claiming negligence against the deputy since he dropped him off at the gas station with a deadly weapon. Well, yeah, right? That's why they killed Christian Glass. They said, oh, he tried to stab that one guy with the knife. So the cop, let's be as generous as possible, right? So the cop picks up some guy. For some reason, he's got this big-ass knife. Okay, for my safety, I'm just going to take the knife and put it over here. And then, okay, you're at the Speedway. I mean, is that what you pick up a hitchhiker and you drop him off at the gas station? Because if he is just looking to, get a car or some money or something, then, the guy did totally aid and abet a criminal piece of shit, and he stabbed the guy to death. He fucking murdered him. So being as generous as possible, okay, the sheriff picked him up, saw he had a knife, dropped him off, didn't know anything was going to happen, left, and then this crime happened. And so what, responsibility was it of his, specifically? I mean, motherfuckers, goddamn, you all pulled me over for going 1 mile over, 1 mile per hour over the speed limit. And then, and so these motherfuckers, oh, I just got a big old fucking knife, just walking around with a big old knife, it's kind of what I do. And apparently it's not illegal to walk around with a knife, but you can't conceal it. So did he have it in his hand, and was it just obvious? Because that seems more psychotic. And really, why not ask a question or two, So what's up with that knife? You got that big old knife right there. You planning on trying to rob somebody? You gonna kill somebody and then rob them? Is that what that knife is for? Jamar has 3 children. So Jamar, Howery, Jamar. That's what I guess the mother calls him, the guy that died. Jamar's got 3 children. "I'm retired due to disability compounded by more mental health issues because of this murder. Somebody has to take care of them kids." Myrick says her family will never be the same after Howery was killed. Al loved a lot of things, but his favorite thing was his kids and his mama. Al was a mama's boy to the end, but his kids was like his whole world. Hopefully, we've arrested Jonathan. Hopefully, he spends his life in fucking jail at the very least, right? You get life. You stab somebody to death. Yeah, you get life for that. Jonathan Barlow is awaiting trial for Howery's murder. In November, KRQE reached out to the Rio Arriba County Sheriff's Office about the lawsuit. A spokesperson declined to comment on the ongoing litigation. Oh, sorry, we can't talk about that. No, we can't talk about that at all. There is something about feeding into the damn story. This is written by Adriana Kraft, posted August 25th, 2022. So here is a KRQE video. Let's watch this together.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Look at that. Jordan Peterson.
It's more durable than stone. It's more durable than a castle. It's more durable than an empire.
Let's watch this first.
You don't get away with anything. And so you might think you can bend the fabric of reality and that you can treat people instrumentally. mentally and that you can bow to the tyrant and violate your conscience without cause, you will pay the piper. It's going to call you out of that slavery into freedom, even if that pulls you into the desert.
God is ethic-centered, not ethnic-centered.
Well, do you want the Pharaoh on your side or do you want God on your side? That's kind of the question.
You want Jesus on your side, or do you want Pontius Pilate?
Good afternoon. A mother is filing a wrongful death lawsuit saying a Rio Arriba County deputy could have prevented the murder of her son back in 2020. The deputy actually drove the suspect to the murder scene. Here's News 13's Ariana Kraft. On November 21st, 2020, 29-year-old Al Howery was stabbed to death outside of this Speedway gas station in Chama, New Mexico, as he waited for his wife to finish her shift.
My daughter-in-law in the store thought she heard his voice when she ran outside and called his name. Him and Jonathan stood up. Jonathan still had the knife up. She hollered to the officer in the store, "Help, help. He's killing my husband."
Before the murder, a Rio Arriba sheriff's deputy found the suspect, Jonathan Barlow, on the side of the road. He took a Bowie knife away from him and dropped Barlow off at the Speedway gas station. When he did, he gave Barlow the knife back, the same weapon Barlow is accused of using to kill Howery.
And my son standing on the side, bleeding out. When Jonathan went down, my son laid himself down and said, "Call my mama, somebody call my mom."
Now, Howery's family is filing a wrongful death lawsuit against Jonathan Barlow, the Rio Arriba Sheriff's Office, and the deputy involved. The lawsuit is claiming negligence against the deputy since he dropped him off at the gas station with a deadly weapon.
And he didn't just kill him, he heinously killed him.
In New Mexico, it's illegal to conceal carry Bowie knives, but it's unclear whether Barlow had his knife hidden or not. Now Howery's mother worries about the future of her grandchildren.
Jamar has 3 children. I am retired due to disability, compounded by more mental health issues because of this murder. Somebody has to take care of them kids.
Jennifer Myrick says her family will never be the same after Howery was killed.
Al loved a lot of things, but his favorite thing was his kids and his mom. Al was a mama's boy to the ends, but his kids was his whole world.
Barlow is awaiting trial on Howery's murder in November. Ariana Kraft, KRQE News 13. Now, we did reach out to the Rio Arriba County Sheriff's Office about the lawsuit. A spokesperson declined to comment because of pending litigation.
Yeah, they're so smart, they ain't gonna tell us shit. But you know what? I'm so sick and tired of the cops not talking to us. Give us a little bit of something, man. Tell us something about something. Shit. I'm just going to break it down into percentages. There was when I was I don't know, 16, 17, when I was younger, I had interned or just worked a day with this lawyer, Steve Huddleston. And Steve Huddleston and I went out to this accident scene. He took a bunch of pictures. But the whole idea of his case, he really actually thought he had a losing case. He had a losing case. Because the person that he was representing had rear-ended a person that was completely stopped in the middle of the road. Now, Kentucky law said that the person, if you rear-end somebody, you're at fault. You're at fault. You know, it's a 35-mile road. There's a curve. Now, what the lawyer was trying to do was mitigate the damages, trying to do, harm reduction, try to reduce the harm as possible. And so he said there's a percentage. Okay, the person that's mostly responsible is the person that, hit the person that was stopped in the middle of the road. But you stopped in the middle of the road, and the person that was stopped in the middle of the road came out of the car and was apologetic and said, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. And so he was going to, I guess, use that against them. But ultimately, they were stopped in the middle of the road. So even if you were to say the other person is, guilty, not 100%, but 90%, yeah, that motherfucker's guilty, 90%. 10% because you shouldn't be stopped in the middle of the road. But even if you're stopped in the middle of the road, Kentucky law says that, the other person cannot hit you. They can't hit you. Maybe if you're on the interstate or something, but 35 mile an hour. So the point to that was percentages. People are, the person that ran the other person from behind, 90% of their, it was their fault. So they should pay for 90% of all the damages, but not 100%, because 10% was there a shoulder? Could you have pulled over to the shoulder? And then when you saw the car coming, and then how come nobody saw anything? And then, so percentages. When I think about this case here in Chama, so you have the cop picks up the hitchhiker, gives his Bowie knife back to him, and did he drive away, or did he just like sit there and watch him? Or was he involved in it, from beginning to the end? In terms of percentage, we know the police officer, or we like to think at least, giving him the most generous, we'd like to think that he was just kind of a victim of happenstance, right? He was being nice to the hitchhiker who turned out to be a fucking bloody psycho killer. Oops. But you're telling me that the cop didn't hear anything? Nothing, First of all, he's a weird bite in with the Bowie knife. None of that fucking seems suspicious of, you didn't suspect anything. No probable cause of any goddamn thing happening. And, here's your Bowie knife back. All right, see you later. Here's your AK-47 back. All right, here's your gloves back, OJ. No, all right, I'll see you later. Didn't see shit. I find that impossible. And he had a Bowie knife, so at the very least, something's fucking kind of weird. Something's off about the thing. You did drive him to the fucking gas station. You did aid and abet. If it wasn't for the police officer, that person would have, taken another 30 minutes or whatever to get to the gas station. That person, the guy that got, killed, Al, what was his name? Al, and R.I.P. to Al. So in terms of percentages, that police officer is responsible for something. 5%, 10%, and I don't think it should come out of his personal bank account. I think it should come out of the insurance for, the sheriff's department. So he doesn't get any, punishment. But, and then like she said, like, what the fuck? Okay, so it's not the cop's fault. It's not your fault. It's nobody's fucking fault, right? Just a crazy fucking, he just there, starts stabbing. Well, all fucking, c'est la vie. What can you fucking do? Shit happens, right? And then, but like the grandmother said, there's 3 kids that's involved. So a father got killed. Who's going to raise those kids? They're just going to be stuck into the system, or they're just going to be pawned off on something? What's going to happen to them? They had a loving father. They had a father who loved them and would have seen, them grown and got to be married and got a career and all the rest. Now his life has been cut short. So what's going to happen to those kids? So ultimately her heart is in the right place. And they're also suing the fucking guy who did it. That Jonathan guy. So they're suing him. So they're 100% correct on that. 110% correct on that. The person that stabbed the person, he's responsible. He's to 110%. That's the motherfucker responsible. If there's any assets, if he owns a car, if he owns a goddamn cigarette or a lighter or any goddamn lint, whatever assets, that guy who stabbed that other guy, the second guy gets it. That second estate gets his assets. What if he's got any money left? But most likely, right, he's going around with a knife stab, so he's probably desperate, right? Probably doesn't have too much money. Who does have money? The police officer budget and the insurance company that's supposed to protect the police. And could the cop have done better? Yeah. He could have just stayed at the gas station, right? Could have said, all right, make your phone call. What's your next step? Where are you going from here? And just dropping them off. You're going to try to hitchhike somebody just getting gas? Like, what the hell? What kind of solution is that? Well, he was just hitchhiking, so the policy is just drop him off, pick him up and drop him off at any random gas station and say, good luck, buddy. That's not a good policy. Drop him off at a hotel. Did he even have a home? What the hell? So Let's get the guy's name, R.I.P. And it was in Chama, too. There's not much going on in Chama. They have the Antonito Chama. You got that railroad that goes between the two. But I guess Chama's kind of a small little hole-in-the-wall spot. It's a village in Rio Arriba County, New Mexico. Population of 1,000. So, tiny village. But I was excited to get to Chama. I thought it was kind of neat. I was only there for a second, and then they, drove us back in a bus. So it was like pretty much get off the train, get on the bus, and get on out of there. But they should have just like waited an hour. Can we hang out in Chama for an hour? Chama, New Mexico. So let's see, Chama, New Mexico. Homicide. Also, being it's a small town, 1,000, and in a town of 1,000, you had one person that got fucking brutally, stabbed. And even, okay, let's assume she loses and assume, okay, they're not responsible at all. Somebody's got to do something. Somebody has to do something. What the fuck? Aren't y'all a bunch of Christians? So then why don't you, they're going to be adults in, 5 years. Why don't you just build 3 houses? And that way when they become 18, they'll have a place to live. They won't be homeless. They won't be just, fucking shit. You had one homeless person, stabbing people, and now there's going to be, what, more homeless people? And then this is, the holidays right around the damn corner. November 21st, 2020. So, Howery. Howery. I like what the mother called him, Al something. R.I.P. to Jamar. And who the fuck is this Jonathan Barlow piece of shit? I mean, goddamn. Society, we got to be absolutely off of our fucking rocker if we're going to be on the side of this motherfucking Jonathan Barlow and not this. It's almost like in Liar Liar when, he had convinced her to sue the father, but then when she was like, she wanted custody. On top of taking all of his money, she wanted custody too. Why? Because I'm the victim here and I'm going to hit him where it hurts. And then the lawyer, Jim Carrey, is kind of like,
we are able to help
you said he was a good father.
Every year because of
but you said he was a good father. So let's see what we got. Barlow. And why do I feel like I've heard that name before? Like he's stabbed somebody else before or some crap. Jonathan Barlow. Shouldn't there be like some sort of what are they called? Mugshot. Jonathan Barlow. Not seeing Jonathan Barlow, but it's not about that piece of shit. I hope that piece of shit gets life and any of his assets are immediately traveled, or given to Al Jamar. But it is about Al Jamar. It's about Al Jamar. So, R.I.P. to Al Jamar.